Daniel Pickett with Action Figure Insider here at Comic-Con 2009. I'm with Georg Brewer of DC Direct. George, tell us a little bit about what you're showing new here at Comic-Con for DC Direct.
Okay, well it's actually really exciting because we've got a lot of new stuff that we're putting out for the show. I would say my favorite thing right now is the dynamic statues that Tim Bruckner and I worked on together. I don't do as much art direction as I used to, so it's kind of fun to sort of get my hand in a project now and again, and they're just fantastic. These clear resin bases, very dynamic, and they're just really remarkable. I mean, people have really gravitated to them, especially the Green Lantern piece, which I literally saw for the first time finished on Friday, and I was like,
oh wow.
I mean, I'd seen it in several stages, but to see it like finished is really cool.
Right. And how did you sort of choose? They all have very unique bases. How did you choose the different sort of styles for each character?
Well,
I mean, some make sense, like Aquaman.
Well, the whole project started because I had seen a personal piece that Tim had done called like Prometheus. Sort of this like figure rising out of smoke, and he and I were just talking on the phone one day, and I was like, that'd be really cool. We should like do something for DC. He's like, oh yeah, So we started like just bouncing ideas, and this goes back almost 2 years ago, and we so he would do sketches and I would do sketches, and we were just trying to find kind of an environmental element, and we had very loose concepts, like Aquaman being water was sort of a natural thing.
Sure.
And the one through line was something clear, something organic was sort of the thing, and it's sort of a manifestation of like either the power or the personality. And so we came up with Aquaman first. It was the first piece we did, and we actually solved a lot of problems on that one in terms of figuring out how to do the coring so that the light can actually really pass through.
Right.
And then we did Wonder Woman next, and it was clouds. And that one I was like, Tim, clouds, they don't look good. I've never seen clouds or fire, and so we went back and forth, and I kept sending him pictures of stuff because he was sculpting them. I'm like, it looks like brains, and so I was sending pictures of like snow cones and cotton candy, like all kinds of weird stuff. Like, we need to do something like this, and we actually ended up taking the wax casting and rolling it in sugar.
Oh wow!
And we actually tried powdered sugar, table sugar, like all kinds of stuff. And then we cast that, and that's how we got this really kind of frosted, sort of light texture. So it was really cool. It's been kind of a fun, sort of intellectual, creative challenge thing. So it's a lot of back and forth. And Tim's a genius, so he makes any idea look good. So it's a lot of fun. It's really cool.
And you've got that new line of Adam Hughes, Women of the DC Universe line.
That is blowing out. People just love that. They come up to the show. Oh my God, I had Adam over here today, and because I was showing him Harley Quinn, which is the new sculpt that just came in, and we were talking about. I'm like, so dude, like, what are you doing next? He's like, well, I know you guys want me to do Supergirl. Actually, should I be saying this? Anyway.
I think you absolutely should.
So we'd been talking about Supergirl for a while as like the next one, and since we've kind of played through a lot of the covers, because he does a lot of covers of the same characters, that with Harley are like, I just want a Harley, like just draw something, like whatever, And so we started talking about Supergirl. He's like, well, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but I have this great idea for Poison Ivy. And I'm like, really, what? And so he's describing it to me. I'm like, that's cool. You want to draw that now? He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, just do it. We'll put that one in, and we'll get to Supergirl. And he's like, well, what about the Batgirl? Anyway, so we're like going through this idea, and we're like kicking ideas back and forth. And it's really cool because people really dig them. And that's all Jack Matthews. And the really nice thing was, so Adam's at the booth. He's looking at him. These people are watching him, like, ooh, Adam Hughes. And they're like, man, these things are really great. And he just looked over and he goes, this is not me, man. This is the sculptor, and he's doing a great job. And it was really cool, I was like, thanks for that, So that's fun. Story builders, which is kind of a new idea that is kind of like a shadow box, sort of a sculptural piece. But, a lot of our wonderful collectors, thank you all, have a lot of our stuff, and you kind of run out of shelf space after a while.
Right.
So we're like, okay, how can we get a piece that works on the wall? And we did those like Justice League animated ones a few years ago.
Sure.
But for me, it was like, well, it's nice, the character on the wall, but I want to tell a story. So the cool thing with these is you get in the series, you get the four. You get Batman, Joker, Catwoman, and the last one's going to be either Harley or Robin, or maybe Harley and Robin fighting out the window or something. But you can put them on the wall in different configurations and actually turn their heads.
Oh, wow.
So I have them kind of interact, so it's a really cool thing. So that's fun, nice idea. And Blammoids.
Yes.
Very fun.
People are going crazy for Blammoids.
Can you hear them out there? It's amazing. But it's really true. People really dig them. They're just fun and funky and kind of different. And the great thing about my job is sometimes I'll work through ideas with the guys, and other times I walked into the room And there was Jim Fletcher, John Santagata, and Brian Webster and Sean were all sitting in the room. I'm like, I want more vinyl. We got to come up with something for vinyl, man. Let me see some ideas. Next Wednesday. Walked out the room. And they're like, and whatever happened, you know, John came back with like 100 designs, all in that style. And I was like, this is cool. This is cool, man. This is great. And so we started passing it around, and people were like, oh, I don't know. And then we sculpted like 6 of them to start. And when we started showing them, that's when it became real for people internally. And they loved it. It's just been great. And not only, because we were going to do about 4 assortments of maybe 4.
Okay.
And they were so excited, like, no, we got to get out there with it. We're doing 36 individual characters in the first year. And I want to keep doing them, you know. So that's kind of cool, fun, different space to be in. What else do we have that's new in the booth? Well, Blackest Night, of course. All things Blackest Night is really good. And our convention exclusives getting good reactions, so that's a lot of fun. You know, you get a lot of people kind of coming up, ooh, what are you going to do with those at the end of the show? I'm like, sorry. But it's been kind of fun for us because, you know, Blackest Night as an event, I don't think anybody realized how big it was until we got here. You know, the comics have been selling through the roof. And the internet buzz has been really solid. It looks really great. The story's really unfolding in kind of a cool way. And you know, we have our core line action figures, which have been doing pretty well. So and it actually came up with the idea for this stunt. At the time, we knew Hal was green, obviously. We knew he was sort of had a Sinestro ring in the war for 5 seconds. And he was going to be, you know, have the blue costume at one point. So I was talking to Jeff, and I'm like, well, wouldn't it be cool if I had a different one every day? He's like, yeah. So he started working that into the story. So you had him with the Red Lantern thing, and so it's been like a lot of fun working with him on that. He's really cool. And so we kind of planned our quantities based on how Batman and Joker had sold last year. Figuring, you know, we're new to exclusives. You know, we want them to be desirable, so we don't want to do so many that it's useless. And you know, Batman coming off a Batman movie, should be able to sell a few Jokers and Batman. And it did really well for us. So we sort of patterned our quantities off of that. I could have made 3 times as many and sold them. It's just been crazy. Like, who would have thought? I mean, it's a little lightning in a bottle. I don't know that whatever genius stuff I come up with next year, you know, will be as desirable. I'd like to think that it would be. But what are you hearing on the floor? I mean, you're out there.
Well, it's interesting because I've been trying to get these too, and out on the floor there are people that don't have a full set that have made little signs.
I saw that yesterday. It's like
I need a yellow lantern.
It was like a Dead concert. We'll trade orange for red or something.
You know, it's wild. So they're actually trying to trade to get a full set. And I overheard a story in line the other day that so they go upstairs to do the ticket giveaway thing, and they won't tell you where to line up. And there were people trying to sabotage other people, saying, "Oh, it's happening over there." And it was literally like it was described as, "Hey, the cure for cancer's over there," and like 700 people run to this area, and it's just people are so rabid for it. I think you mentioned a story about a guy, like people sleeping all night.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, it's been a challenge, you know. I mean, I don't think anybody here from Graffiti, who have been great, to the convention people really anticipated the demand. You know, because like on preview night, we literally had thousands, not like I don't know if you can really comprehend thousands of people.
I was in that
in a space,
right? I had male bodies pressing waving their hands for a ticket.
We'll talk about that later. But you know, it was really bizarre. So